Because drinking really ain't my problem. So that's what I told myself.
It's not your problem.
Right.
I'm sorry for laughing.
Nah, but it's like, and that's what I would tell myself, man. Like, I tell myself these lies, and I buy that shit hook, line, and sinker, man. And, you know what I always say? You know how many times I went to Baltimore and got burned from, buying crack and dope? But that didn't stop me from going back down there and doing that. So it's like, when I go to a bad meeting, I don't let that stop me from going to, to my meetings and my 12-step program.
Okay.
So, I ended up, I started drinking, man. And it wasn't long after I started drinking, I started getting high again, man, sniffing dope. Because when I was in treatment, people started going to Baltimore. I was bringing dope back from Philly. Now, they didn't have, they didn't want to go to Philly because they knew the cops were watching us. The cops were watching me come up and down the turnpike. They were watching people running in and out of my house in the restaurant across the street. So they had names, and they had us all kind of like under surveillance. But they started going to Baltimore. I started getting high again, and and I didn't know then what I know now. But once I put it in me, man, it's that phenomenon of craving. Like, I wake that beast up, man, and he wants fed. And I mean, the beast inside of me wants fed. And it doesn't matter who I gotta hurt to feed him. And I'm not proud of that, but I know that today. And I started getting high again. I experienced being dope sick. I didn't have money to support my habit, so I started stealing. And I went into my dad's garage and took his air compressor. And I told myself that I was going to take his air compressor to the pawn shop, get $100 for it. I was going to go down to the city. I was going to get 10 pills. I was going to come back and do 5, sell 5, go back and get his air compressor out, and then then he would never even know it's gone. Right. And I'm like, that's tiring even saying that shit, man. You know what I mean? That didn't happen. I went down and I did 10 pills. I just started ripping and running again, man. And ended up getting a second-degree burglary on my dad's house. I got locked up for that. So now I'm sitting in the Frederick County Detention Center with possession with intent to distribute heroin, possession with intent to distribute cocaine, possession with intent to distribute marijuana, and then I had possession with intent to distribute each one of them within 1,000 feet of a school zone, and I had a second-degree burglary. So my first time in trouble, like, there was no smack on the hand. It was.
They gave you a bonus first time?
They gave me 18 months. They suspended it all. They gave me 20 years, suspended it, gave me 18 months, gave me 10 years on the second-degree burglary, suspended it, 18 months, and ran a concurrent.
Man.
I did that little bit at the county jail. I got out, and I was only out for 7 months, man. I went back around, people, my homeboys, so I thought they were. And, I was out 7 months, man, and I started hustling again. And I ended up selling dope to an undercover cop. They ended up giving me 2 grand jury indictments. And they smashed me, man. Like, they didn't give me a bail, they gave me a ransom. It was $200,000. And I wasn't getting out this time. Mommy and Daddy were done. So I sat in that county jail for 11 months, man. Trying to fight this charge. I didn't want to go to prison. I always tell people, like, listen, man, I didn't want to go to prison.
No one wants to go to
hair,
prison.
blue-eyed boy. I don't want to go to prison. I watch Shawshank Redemption.
Bubba. You're going to be the dude named Bubba. Hey, how you doing, man?
So, and here's what I say, like, before I even came into recovery, like, I knew about surrender long before, I came into recovery. Because let the state come at me with a good deal and I'll surrender, And that's what I did, man. It's back, like I said, this was the 90s. Shit changed, man. Like, they weren't being as lenient as they are today. And they gave me 12 years. The first 10, no parole.
So you had to do? Did you do the whole 10 or?
I got out. I got out after 5.
Okay.
In the meantime, while I'm waiting to go for this charge, I ended up. I picked up some charges in Baltimore City, uttering false documents, and I had to go to court for that. And they gave me 10 years and suspended it all but 5 months. And I thought that I would wait in the county doing that. Well, no, I thought wrong. They sent me down to Baltimore. And I did that in, MTC, which is the old penitentiary that was built back in the 1800s. And that is not.
I heard about it. I heard it's not a nice
It's not a
place.
game. It's not a fun place to be, man. I mean, it is just it's crazy, man. The shit that I saw. I mean, that's the first time I ever seen somebody like get their shit busted. When I say that, like get their head split open, man. With whether it's a lock or a can of tuna fish or something.
Did that desensitize you to things?
Well, it started to desensitize me because in there you don't see nothing, you don't hear nothing, you just keep walking and mind your business, man. And you're in the shower with 20 or 30 other men, and everybody's got their shoes and boots on and boxers. Like what the? And it's crazy, man. And you stay in there, and they'll come in and they chop somebody up. They'll hit them, and you don't do nothing, man. You keep taking a shower and you just walk out, man. And it's like people don't understand the shit that goes on behind them walls, man. So I did that little 5 months down there, and I got out, went back to the county, and then they gave me my 12 years, and then I went up to Hagerstown. I went to MCTC.
Yeah.
And I did all my time there, man. I did it up there and got caught up and ripping and running up there. I was on lockup 3 times. 150 days, 150 days, 100 days. My last bit was 200 days. For getting high up there, getting high, having dirty urines, making wine. I learned how to make wine. I always had a batch of wine cooking in my cell, and it just got caught up in the lifestyle in prison. And honestly, I remember laying in that bunk so many times, and I have journals, they're upstairs beside my bed, man. I got journals from journaling in there, and I knew one day, this wasn't my purpose, man. How did I get here? It's like, man, I went to Mother Seton School. I played Little League Baseball, man. I was on the All-Stars. How the fuck did I get here? I'm in prison, man. My cell buddy's got life. You know what I mean? And here I am, fucking counting blocks, wondering what everybody's doing on the outside. Who forgot about me? I don't know if people understand that. What it's like to watch your family grow up through pictures. You know what I'm saying? You sit there and wait by this fucking door, wait for a piece of mail to come underneath your door. Did somebody think about you this week? And that's real shit, man, because you find out who your friends are once you go to prison, and they eventually let me out, man, in 2005. I ended up going to this long-term treatment.
Really quick, I don't want to pass by. I'm talking about today. You don't blame nobody for not coming in pictures and doing the visit thing for
listen,
you.
I stick by people. There's people that are in prison, that I still write and I'll send them books and stuff. But I don't blame people. I mean, people got a life. People got a life. But I do also tell myself this: if I have a true friend, somebody that I fuck with and I care about, and they're in prison, if I don't listen, it takes 10 minutes to write a fucking letter, man.
Postcard, yeah.
If you can't take 10 minutes, you're too busy, or you better reevaluate that friendship. I don't give up on people. I believe in second chances and third chances, and because I know what it's like to be in there, man.
Okay.
And before,
I just wanted to clarify.
I don't blame nobody.
Because a lot of people,
I put my blame thrower away. I had to stop blaming people, man. But I tell you, prison. I thank God for DOC. I thank God because it really made me reevaluate my game plan. And I can tell you, when I first got clean, and I'm worried about all these people, what they think of me. And all these people that I'm worried about what they think of me, none of them ever send me a money order. You know what I mean? When I was up the road, none of them answer my call. So it's why the hell am I so worried about what they think of me? So I ended up getting out 2005. I went to Second Genesis, which is a long-term treatment program in Crownsville, Maryland, and that program broke me down. I mean, it broke me down. I miss those programs. They need them. It's a behavior modification.
Okay.
They break us down and then build us back up. And after 3 months, I didn't give them a chance to build me back up. They broke me down, but I ran. And that's what I've done that all my life, the whole fight or flight. And but I mean, they have you wearing signs around your neck. One of my signs said, "My disrespectful attitude will kill me." And you have to walk around with that on your neck all day. And if you get caught with it off your neck, man, you get in trouble. Another sign, and this was super, I mean, it was spot on for me. The guy had me write a sign that said, "I will use anyone or anything to get what I want."
And how old were you at this time?
So I got out of prison, I was 28.
28?
Yep.
Okay.
I was
that
28.
will break you down. You're 28 years old and you're wearing a sign?
Yep.
Yeah.
I ended up leaving there. I ran. I went AMA and ended up picking up 5 more charges, man, between Frederick County and Baltimore City. Just, I say little charges, but normal people don't what is a little charge? I'm that's just a possession, man, attempted possession. But that shit's too much, man.
And to a real person.
Well, right.
But
I do catch myself saying that. But it was attempted possession. What the hell is attempted possession? I attempted to buy crack, down on Ricerstown Road, but I ended up getting locked up, man. They, you know, because I had a warrant out for me for leaving that treatment center. I was court ordered, and then I ended up getting in drug court. You know, in Frederick, there was a program that just started, drug court, and you know, they kept me on a tight leash, man. And they kind of, you know, if you didn't do the things that they required you to do, you know, they would penalize your ass. I mean, they sent me to jail for a week, you know, because they caught me drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed that. Like, I needed that. I don't do well with no consequences. I don't do well with, well, everything's going to be all right. Just don't do it again. Yeah, I don't do well with that. You know, and I thank God every treatment center that I went to, I've always got the hardcore NA counselor. And I thank God for that. You know, they were much more worried about me getting better than me liking them. And so, you know, I got in drug court. I started going to meetings because it was required. I had to go to either AA meetings or NA meetings. And I was going to these meetings just to get my slip signed. And, you know, I was tired, man. Like, I was tired. I mean, I look, you know, dressed up garbage can. But inside I was just tired, man. Like, I did not want to go back to prison, man. I didn't want to keep bitten. Like, this life's rough. It's hard.
So it's getting close to the, like
yeah,
ready to make a change? This
is about 2006. Okay. You know, this is about 2006. And I'm still, you know, living with 1 foot in recovery and 1 foot out of recovery. And when you do that, bad things happen, man.
So you're like not using, but you're still doing stuff, basically.
Well, I'm using. Yeah, I'm using. Okay. I'm drinking. Drug court system wasn't like as accurate as it is today, where so I could get over on drinking. I was getting high, you know, I'm like, you know, doing 8 balls, you know, snorting coke, eating acid. I started eating ecstasy, you know. I've never even done ecstasy, but you know, I was hanging out with some girls, they liked it and I liked it, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. You know? Yeah, you know, and I don't know, man. Like, I don't know why I got clean on April 7th of 2008. I don't know why I got clean on that day. Wow. But I made a decision.
You're coming up on 11 years clean.
I'm 11. I'll come April this year. I'll be 12. Or next year I'll be 12. So, but yeah, man, I don't know why I got clean on that day. I just made a decision. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, I kind of just came off a relapse. I was getting high on dope for 3 days. I graduated drug court. That's what it was. I graduated drug court, and like a week after I graduated, or somewhere in that vicinity, I got high. And that scared me, you know, because I didn't have this security blanket anymore to hold me accountable. And I had some friends in AA. You know, I had some friends in NA, and like they truly cared about me, man. And they were starting to do things for me that like I've never had people do for me. You know, and like they just understood. Like, I never met people that were as open and honest as, you know, when I came into recovery and started hearing people share, man. And I don't know, man. There's a guy that goes to meetings around my way, and he always says this. He says, "Get busy living or get busy dying." You know, and then it's still today. At 11 years sober, man, it hits me like a ton of bricks. And I got busy living, man. You know, I had to stop wishing for a better past. I had to stop blaming people for my, you know, regardless of who set me up when I sold drugs, regardless of how bad I thought I had it as a, you know, I thought I had it bad when I was a child until I went to prison and met people who really had it bad. You know, I mean, my next door neighbor in prison, man, you know, I had to write letters for this dude. He didn't even know how to read or write. He's only 15 years old. He's in there for second-degree murder. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not used to that, man. But it's like, I mean, prison opened my eyes. You know, it's like, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful, Maryland Division of Corrections, man, because some people ain't been there yet. Yeah, if my ass want to act stupid, I know what's waiting for me.
You know where to go. You know what it is on the end.
It's like I'm not healed. I'm not cured. You know, and I still today chase my recovery like I was chasing dope, man. And
so really quick, when you started trudging the road to happy destiny, right? Like, how did that start? Like because they say like you got to give it away, like you got to help people, and then your life gets more fulfilled. Like, tell me how that started.
So I mean, I just got involved. I got involved with the 12-step program I was involved with. I heard people say, you know, I've never seen anybody fall off the center of a roof. You know, get in the center of the 12-step program. You know, get involved with service work. You know, and I had to overcome that fear. Like, I had this fear. I didn't want to speak. I didn't want to read. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to ask questions. And you know, I did the bare minimum to get by in school. This ain't a bare minimum. This ain't pass or fail. Your ass is gonna live or die. You know, and I don't want to die, man. So you know, it's up to me whether I get out of this what I put into it. If I give a little, I get a little. If I give a lot, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man, I've busted my fucking ass to get where I'm at today. You know what I mean? I mean, I busted my ass, and that's why I am the way I am. I just shoot from the hip. You know, if people like me, they like me, and if they don't, that's fine too. You ain't paying my fucking mortgage. You know, and you know, and I'm just being honest with you, man.
That's beautiful.
It's like, I mean, like, I bust my ass to get this house, man. I'm the first one in my family to buy a house, man. That shit means a lot to me. I'm the first one of my brothers to fucking get a degree. You know what I mean? Like, my motivation and passion today at 11 years sober is just as much as it was when I first got clean, if not more, man. Because, I have stuff to lose today. I can go bid. I know how to bid. I know how to make moves in there. I know how to work them COs, man. What I didn't know how to do was live out in society. And I had to watch other people who've been clean and not just talking a good game, because I learned the mouth will say anything, but behavior don't lie.
Yes.
And that's why I watch people, and if they got something that I want or I want to be like them, I watch what they do and I kind of follow their lead. Drug court was giving out incentives when I was in drug court, and like $20 gift cards and shit when you come to court and you didn't get in trouble. So they stopped doing that. I found out a year or two after I graduated. So I started this 5K called a Run for Recovery.
Okay.
And I wanted to raise money to give back. Like, I felt like I was so, I was overpaid, man. I was overpaid from recovery. I was overpaid from drug court. So I started giving this money back to drug court so they can give incentives to the participants again, because I knew how much that meant to me. Like, I would be out during the week and I'm like, damn, like, I could go out to this bar. I could go out with her. We could get drunk, or I could get high. And then I think, man, like, I want to get that gift card, man. Like, I want them to be proud of me, So we started doing that, man, and I started this foundation called the Up and Out Foundation, and man, I'm going to be honest with you, it blew up faster than I ever could have imagined. Because I started it right in the midst of the opioid, the heroin epidemic.
Okay.
And and I started pounding the pavement, man. I started going out and asking for sponsors and asking people, like, how do you do this? Whatever I wanted to do, I went to somebody who already did it and asked them how they did it, man. And I put in the footwork. And that's the thing, man. It's like pisses me off sometimes, because people don't see. We judge people by the outside, and it's like, what makes us who we are is the shit that people can't see, man. The stuff that we've been through. And I just started going out and pounding the pavement, man. And I believe, they say recovery is attraction, not promotion. I believe that if you build it, they'll come. Like, I know what attracted me to recovery, man. Not arrogance and ego and all that bullshit, man. What attracted me was somebody like saying, like, I understand, man. I've been there. Somebody, so that's just I tried to just give that back. And this foundation blew up, man. It blew up. It's probably been going now 5 or 6 years. We help people get into sober houses if we have the money. We'll pay for their move-in fee. We feed the homeless. That's super important to me, because it's like near and dear to my heart, man. I love to go out and feed the homeless. Down in Baltimore City, we go out and give out blessing bags. We sign up at the church in Frederick and we serve a meal. We go in and prepare the meal. And I love sitting down with them, man. Like, I love sitting down and talk. I hope I don't ever want to get too good where I can't sit down with, because the only difference between me and them really is this one dumbass decision, man.
So you feel at home around your people?
Absolutely, man.
They're never not going to be your people?
And a lot of people, like, a lot of shit has happened this past year, man, and I've been put in positions that I never could have imagined that I'd be put in. I mean, I've, directors of, treatment centers, which was, it was a horrible idea. It was horrible. I'm just going to leave it. It was when you mix money and politics, and one thing, I don't care how much money you pay me, I have integrity and morals, and I'm not going against that. And not all people that are in treatment are in it for the same reason, and there's shit going on behind the scenes that I'm not one to just sit on things. Like, I'm not going to allow illegal shit to go on when it's under my watch. I'm just not doing that. So, and I spoke all over the place, man, and I'm just saying that because that wasn't a part of my plan, dude. I got asked to speak at the National Harbor probably 5 years ago in front of 5,000 people.
Okay.
The drug court, they do a training on the East Coast and the West Coast every year. I got to share my story in front of 5,000, prosecutors, lawyers, police. I mean,
ain't that crazy? Like,
crazy.
he was in prison. MCTC was making hooch, and now you're sitting with all of them.
I mean, it was good,
That's
man.
awesome.
There's no better feeling, man, than being able to share your story, man, and that shit fuels me to give somebody else hope. But it's
for the record, I mean, you gave me my hope. I used to watch you, man. I used to watch you in the beginning, but this ain't about me. This is about you. Come on, I'm sorry.
Nah. But so I mean, it's been I'm overpaid, man. And that's not something I would have said when I first came in, to recovery, because I was always overworked and underpaid. And I learned, it's about putting a new pair of glasses, man. This is about perspective. If you can't be grateful for where you're at, then be grateful for where you're not at. If you can't be grateful for what you have, then be grateful for what you don't have. And I come, like I said, from the gutter, man. I'm many days. I've tore my sheet, braided it, hugged it up in the vents, and did pull-ups all day. Or did step-ups on my toilet. Or got my extension cord, spliced it, put the fingernail clippers around it, plugged it in, and so it can warm my water up.
Make a stinger. Stinger. That's a stinger.
Yeah, man. So it's like I don't want to go back to that life, but I don't want to forget it, man. And I was always told, if you don't forget where you come from, you won't go back. I read a book years ago, and it talked about why the windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror, and it says because it's more important to where I'm going. But that rear view mirror, so I can peep up there, and look what's. But if I stare at the mirror too long, I'm gonna wreck. So I don't stare at my past, man. I fixed that shit. I dealt with it, and and I'm moving forward, man. So I ended up starting Up and Out Sober Living, which we branched off of Up and Out Foundation, and have 3 recovery houses. We have 27 men and women in the houses. They're full. I can't keep enough beds, and we're saving lives. I mean, it's the bottom line. My sponsor has always told me from day one, whether it's the 12-step program, the Up and Out Foundation, or Sober Living, stay mission centered. Stay mission centered. And my mission is just to give people hope, man, and let them know there's a way up, and a way out. You got to crawl before you can walk. I've always wanted to start at the top of the totem pole, man. And it's like, I wanted everything that everybody had, but I didn't want to do the work to get it, man. And that's not where I come from. That ain't how my dad, my mom, they busted their ass. I'm not a trust fund baby. I wasn't born into money. So that's what I've done, man. And the best part about it, I might be 11 years sober, but I'm just getting started. There's so much shit that I got my eye on the prize.
That's what they told me. My sponsor always tells me, shoot for the stars and land on the moon. Yeah. Everybody that's on the ground is going to think you made it, but you're the only one that's reaching for something more. I'm
telling you, man, I'm overpaid. I got a 5-year-old daughter. I had a daughter since I've been clean. I love her to death, man. It's I can get up and Daddy can play games with her. I sit here and play games with her. I don't care, baby. You want to paint my toenails? Sure, baby. You can paint my toenails. I don't care.
I don't think I'm doing the toenails.
I don't care. That's my.
I got sons. I got sons.
That's my girl, man. And it's AA. NA. Recovery. It's taught me, man. It's just made me look at things different, man. How I treated women when I first got sober versus how I treated women now. It's different because I treated women like they were property, like they were an object, and that's not cool, man. Because I didn't care. I did that shit to validate me. Now that I remember a guy telling me early on. He said, Korey, because I was just doing things I shouldn't have been doing, and he's like, that's somebody's daughter, man. He's like, that's somebody's, mother, somebody's sister. And I never looked at it like that because I was so selfish and self-centered. And now I have a daughter, and if somebody would treat my daughter like I treated other, I might be, calling a bondsman again. Right. And I'm just being honest with you.
No, I understand.
It's my daughter has changed me, man. I mean, she's watching, and I know because I watched since I was a little kid, man. I saw things in my house that I shouldn't have seen in her growing up. So it's I got to be careful around her. I want to try to be the best example as I can be.
So what keeps you going right now, today?
Life, man. There's a guy I watch on YouTube, man. He says when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And I don't know if anybody's ever held your ass underwater. And you was fighting to get up. That's how bad I want to succeed, and I do that for me and for the people who don't want me to succeed, because there's a lot of motherfuckers out there that have tried to take me down. It's jealousy, man, and that's one thing. It's one of the reasons I pulled back, because this past year has been unbelievable, man. It has been unbelievable. You could not have told me at 10 years sober I would have had to go through what I just went through the past year. There's so many people that turned their back on me. There's so many people that judge me. And that shit was super hurtful. I ain't even gonna lie, man. The person that made these accusations, I'm not even mad at this person. I swear to God I'm not, man. Nice. I prayed, great. And I prayed them down. But what hurts me the most is the motherfuckers that turned their back on me, man. And kept their distance. That's all right. I got something for you all. That shit motivated me.
Hey, be nice. Nice.
No, I'm just being honest with you. That shit motivates me, man. People, I don't know what people's plans are.
So it's not a resentment. It's more motivation.
Resentment. It's motivation, man.
More motivation to keep it going.
I've been waiting for this shit to get off my back, man. Because, man, anybody that knows me, man, I've busted my butt to get where I'm at, man. You know, I went to school. I took college classes. I went and got my degree in addiction, man. You know, now I'm going to criminal justice field. You know, I'm taking, you know, I just told you, I'm taking forensic biology. I got an exam coming up. I'm learning about crime scene investigation. Imagine that. You know, and the reason I'm doing that, man, is because I want to be able to help people who had to go through shit that I just went through the past year. Because not everybody has money to buy a lawyer to get them out of trouble.
So it's like everything that's coming at you now, by the way you think now, it's like everything that comes at you as a negative, you never look at the negative aspect, you always turn it into a positive.
Recovery has taught me, I believe what's in the basic text. I believe what's in the big book, man. I don't believe just some of it, I believe all of it. And 100%. I'm not big on letting people rent space in my head. If I stay angry and resentful with these people, my ass, you see that jugular vein? I'll be in the bathroom popping that out, putting a needle in it. Because that's what I do, man. And I don't want to go that route. I will drink or get high again, man. You know, I know there's power in prayer, brother. Because if there wasn't power in prayer, you wouldn't be sitting here and I wouldn't either. No, I'd be dead or in prison. You know, so my mother always told me that in a letter. She'd say, pray, Corey, there's power in prayer. And, you know, and recovery's taught me that. You know, it's all about prayer for me, man. You know, I pray for people. It's not between me and them. You know, that's between them and their pillow and God. I know a clear conscience makes a soft pillow. I don't need to go out and buy some $50, $60, $80 pillow, man. I love my life. I'm overpaid. I'm overpaid with blessings. Nice. So, yeah, man, you know, I'm actually working on getting ready to open a third men's house. Just got our houses, 2 of the houses certified by the state of Maryland. They came through and inspected them. They certified them. So I got a plan, man. And I don't want to give it all to them right yet, but I got a plan. You can follow our website. You can follow our Facebook page.
Yeah, you can get the plug.
UpandOutSoberLiving.com. You know,
it's a brand new channel, so probably only our friends watching it, but we'll see.
Right. I'm not on social media anymore. I had to get off there, man. I had to unplug and you know, in order for me to, I had to disconnect externally to reconnect internally.
Well, you're gonna have to connect to share this.
Yeah, I'm not going back on social media, brother.
Right, I'll share it for you.
It's social media is not good, man. I mean, it can be, but I needed a break. You know, my pastor said, you know, we install security systems in our house so people don't come in and steal our shit, you know, our valuables. And it's like, he's like, you know, we need to install spiritual burglar systems so people don't steal our spirituality. Nice. You know, and that hit me like a ton of bricks.
What would you have to say for somebody that's watching this right now and they're like in the grips of addiction, or clean but crazy, or clean and miserable?
As long as you're breathing, there's hope, man. As long as you're breathing, there's hope. It's for me, you know, I had to surrender, and you know, and not treat surrender like a discipline, but treat surrender like an event. It's easy for me to surrender when I don't have any money. It's easy for me to surrender when the state comes at me with a good deal, but I needed to stay surrendered, because you put a new pair of shoes on my feet, and I start to feel better. And there's a big difference between feeling better and getting better. You know, and that's something I had to learn, man. You know, again, chase your recovery like he was chasing dope. That means I don't let anybody get in my way of my recovery, man. You know, I'm getting ready to leave here. I'm going to go meet a guy I sponsor. We're going to do some step work, and then we're going to Annapolis to a meeting, man. That's how I do. Nice. So, you know, reach out to somebody. You know, reach out. Find local AA meetings. Find local NA meetings, man. Go in there and share. You know, pain shared is pain lessened. You know, reach out to us, Up and Out Sober Living. We're all about second and third chances and trying to steer people in the right direction, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you letting me sit down and talk to you. Your story is so powerful. I think I heard it in bits and pieces, but I never heard it in its entirety like I did today.
Yeah, man.
And I got much more respect. I already respected you. Now I got a little more going on. So
and I watched you, man. I mean, and that's one of the blessings of being clean, man, because you watch other people. I mean, I remember when you was in treatment, man. And that's why I learned, I learned not to judge people. I'm not God. I don't know who's going to make it and who's not going to make it. I've seen so many people come and go in a treatment center that I work at, and you know, they could have been a counselor while they were there, you know, and I thought they were going to stay sober forever, and they left there and got high. And then there's people that were there that I thought they weren't working on shit and was going to relapse as soon as they left, and they stayed clean. So you know, I'm not God.
So that's what you thought about me? That I was addressed on can.
No, you know, I always tell people about you. I watched you leave there and bust your butt and do what you got to do to get to where you wanted to go, man. You know, I watched you work at McDonald's, man, and you said, I'm coming back here and I'm getting a job just like you. And a lot of people say that, you know, but few do it. And I watched you do that shit, man. You went to you went to McDonald's and you stayed there, man, and you took pride in that job. And you did that shit, man, until you had enough clean time. It gives me goosebumps.
Don't
man.
make me cry. You gave me something, you about to make me cry. Hey, man.
And that shit fuels me. Like, I love seeing people get better, man. It's like, God, don't quit before the miracle happens, man. You know, and it's like, they keep happening if you keep coming back.
Yeah,
so,
man. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.